Have I got a treat for you today? And these are my fried, homemade, from scratch, fried pineapple pies. Yes, indeed. They're so delicious. Melt in your mouth. Absolutely scrumptious. Stay tuned. We're making our pineapple filling for our fried pineapple pies. So we have a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapples. We have some sugar. We have some cornstarch. We have a pinch of salt. And we have some pina colada oil. If you don't have that, you could definitely use vanilla. Let's get to it. So guys, I am going to take my sugar and pour my cornstarch in a pot with my salt, and we're going to mix those dry ingredients together. Okay, the heat is not on yet. I just want to mix all that together, make sure we don't have no lumps. The sugar will break up any lumps that might be in the flour so as we mix it. Now we're going to add our crushed pineapple juice and oil, and we're going to mix that nicely, and we're going to do this on medium heat, and we are going to stir and stir and stir, guys, because we want this to get nice and thick. Okay, and guys, the ingredients is in the description box below. All right, so we're just going to mix this, guys, because we want it to get nice and thick. Now guys, you're probably like, well, why pineapple filling? Because pineapple filling for fried pies is absolutely delicious. And not only that, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't have no other fruit. I only had a can of pineapples, and I wanted to do something, so I said, let me do this, because pineapples are good, okay? But these fried pies you could do with any other filling. You could do an apple filling, you could do it with cherry, blueberry, and those I will teach you how to do in the near future. But right now, we have pineapple, crushed pineapples, and that is what we're working with. Okay, yes, darling. So we are going to mix and mix, and as you can see, it's getting thicker. Okay, we want it to get nice and thick. And of course, this filling, pineapple filling here, is definitely good if you want to put for cakes as well. Okay? You know, there's nothing better when you can make your own stuff from scratch. Yes, I remember getting these when, you know, when we were young, you were able to get these for like, what, 25 cents? Those, what was the name of those pies? Oh God, I forgot. I'm telling you my age, but going way back, I remember they were like 25 cents to get these. Was it Hostess? Anyway, these pies. But as you can see, guys, when you could tell it's getting thick as you're stirring it, it's going to leave a empty space behind as you're turning it. Now we're adding our pina colada extract, and you do not need a lot of this. Okay, it's an oil, as a matter of fact, and I get these from Lorenz. Very powerful stuff, very good, but you just need a few drops. That is it, literally, guys. So we're gonna mix that, okay, in there, and after we're done with that, we're gonna put this in another bowl so it could cool. Okay, and guys, you follow these steps. Trust me, you will be in it to win it, okay? So just follow these steps. We're gonna let this cool. You want this to be nice and cool before you put it into any pie dough filling, okay? All right, so we're gonna let that cool, walk away. We're gonna start working on our pie dough. All right, so guys, these are ingredients here to make our pie dough for our fried pies. Okay, we have some all-purpose flour here. I also have the ingredients in the description box for this as well. All right, we have our salt, we have our sugar. We are using shortening, but you can use butter as well because I didn't have the butter I needed. We have some cold water and we have some one whole egg and an egg yolk. And we have shortening and oil to fry our pies, okay? But you can use butter. The butter I had, I was not going to use it because that's for my cake, but shortening will do just as well. So guys, we are going to mix our dry ingredients together, okay? We're going to mix that well to ensure everything is well incorporated, okay? You know, guys, I always tell you, one of the things you should always have in your house is flour, because you can do so many things with flour. I'm telling you. And it's always good to know how to do things homemade. Now we are going to add our shortening, guys. Make sure your hands are clean. We're going to take the shortening and we are going to work it into the dough until it looks like crumbs, okay? Like sand, okay? We're going to use your hand, make sure your hands are clean, and work that shortening in there, baby. Shortening is very good to make pie crust. It gives you such a beautiful flaky. So you could use half butter or half shortening, or you could just use butter for that nice rich buttery taste, but these are going to be fried. So I was like, you know what, let me use my shortening because I need my butter because I got a cake to make, honey, and I need my butter. So this shortening is going to do it, okay? So we are going to work our shortening into our flour, okay? And like I said, guys, it's always beautiful. This is an easy recipe. A lot of people are so intimidated, and there's nothing wrong with getting store-bought pie crust to do stuff like this. But when you realize that you could do it by hand and how easy it is, baby, there's nothing better than something that is homemade. Okay. And again, with this pie dough, guys, you could do so many other things with blueberry filling, apple filling, cherry filling. You could even make these savory as well. Use this dough for savories, okay? Savory fillings. So we're just taking our whole egg and the egg yolk, we're beating that, and we're going to incorporate that in our pie dough because it creates a richness in the dough and it gives it a nice tenderness as well, okay? But a nice crunch at the same time. So we're going to work that into our dough. And then we are going to add our water, ice cold water, by the tablespoons, okay? Because what we want to do right now is we want to get enough water in here so we could form a ball, so it could come together. Okay? So you're just going to add enough water until this dough comes together. And guys, I also have a recipe for making empanadas, and you could also use that dough to make these fried pies as well, okay? So I do have a recipe on how to make empanadas at home. So you could also use that dough recipe made by yours and only me to make your fried pies. And yes, you could bake these as well, but I like them fried. I don't know, but I remember those nice fried pies you used to get from McDonald's and so forth. There's nothing like a fried pie. Alright, so now we're going to turn this out onto a wooden surface, okay? And what I want to do, I just want to bring it together, okay? And if it's a little crumbly, that's okay. Not dry, but a little crumbly. It's okay. You just want to bring it together because we don't want to overwork the dough, okay? That's one thing you don't want to do. All right. And now, guys, we're just going to wrap this, and I'm going to let it rest in the refrigerator for at least, I would say, an hour at least, just to let it rest, okay? All right, my loves. Now I am going to just make a glaze for these pies, because after they're fried, baby, I'm going to take those pies and dip them in that glaze, and baby, it's over the top, okay? So all you need is some confectioner sugar, and you could use water or milk, okay, to make the glaze. You want the glaze thin, but not too thin. You want it the consistency of, how can I say? You don't want it overly thin, but you want it with a little bit of body, because we're gonna use it to put on our pies, okay? I love that nice thin glaze on these pies. And I'm adding my pina colada. If you don't have that, you could use vanilla, but I will leave the link below, guys, of where I get my oils, extracts, and so forth, okay? So many different flavors. And we're just mixing that, guys, and after we finish mixing that, we're going to set that to the side, cover it with some plastic wrap, and set that to the side until we are ready to use it. Now we are ready to assemble our fried pies. So we have our pineapple filling that's nice and cool, our pie dough, our glaze, our shortening, and oil, okay? So now, guys, we are going to, on a lightly surface, well, you're going to use enough flour so it won't stick onto the board, okay? And we're going to roll this dough out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this in half so I could work with what I need, okay? And we're going to put that to the side until ready to use. And we are going to roll this dough out, guys. I want to roll this dough out to at least 1/8 of an inch, okay? Roll it out as nice and thin as you can. And what that does to it, not only that, when I roll it out thin like that, it makes the dough nice and crunchy, but it gives it a nice flakiness as well, okay? You don't want a thick crust when you're making this. I mean, I know that's not what I want. So I want to roll it out at least 1/8 of an inch, thin, thick, okay? And guys, we're going to cut these into circles. You could use whatever top. You could use the top lid of a glass. I'm using what you could use a top, whatever that you have, or you could just take a knife and cut them into squares. But I like using the rounds, because I like to just fold them and make them look like half moons. Okay, and this is like a cutter that I have. Well, I made it into a cutter. It looks like a cutter. I don't even know where I got that from. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm thinking I got it from my Ninja. I don't know. I just know it looked cute, and I said, ooh, this will work. So that's what we're going to use. That's what we're using. So you have anything. If it's the top of a wine glass, whatever you have that you could use to make your cuts, okay? And I was able to get at least, I was able to get 20 nice mini pies out of these. Nice, decent sized pies. Not extra large, but nice, decent sizes. And of course, you could use this dough too if you want to make something savory as well. Okay? Now, all you're going to do is just collect those scraps, set them to the side, because you can re-roll them out, okay? So now, my loves, we're getting our oil together for frying, okay? I like using a combination of canola oil and shortening. I love the way it makes my crusts, or if I'm doing fried chicken, just gives it a nice crunch, and I love that. So I'm using some shortening, or if you just have oil, you just use oil. Okay, we're gonna melt that and get that nice and hot to at least 350 degrees, guys. Okay, so now I'm just taking a little bit of water with my brush and going around the rims of my crust, of my pie dough. And I'm going to add at least a tablespoon of filling. And I'm taking a fork as well because that fork is going to use to crimp the side, edges, okay? So I'm just adding a tablespoon of filling. You don't want to overfill them because you don't want it to seep out, okay? But once you cut them into circles, and if you want to see if you can stretch them out a little bit, go ahead, okay? So taking at least a tablespoon of filling, okay? And I'm just lifting it up now because I want to make sure that that filling stays in, sealing the edges. Then I'm going to crimp it. That's what works for me, because if I just do it like, I just want to make sure I have enough hold where the filling will stay in place, intact in the dough itself. Now I'm going to crimp it. Okay. And we're going to do the same for the others. So just watch, and it's pretty easy, my loves. Okay, just a little water or egg wash on the rims. Okay, you're gonna fold it like I'm making like a taco or something. Okay, and then we're gonna crimp the edges because I just want to ensure that the filling doesn't seep out as I'm closing it. Okay, and we're using a fork to crimp the edges, and we set those to the side. And our oil and stuff is getting nice and hot. I got it on a medium heat. Okay, I got the stove on a medium heat for our oil to get nice and hot. And my loves, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to press that notification bell so you can be notified on a weekly basis of all my new delicious recipes that I have for you. Please give me a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate that. And share. Let everybody know about me. And that's Jackie's Cooking Honey. Alright, so we're just crimping, sealing, and crimping. And guys, like I mentioned before, play with the filling. You could buy the store-bought filling. Okay, buy the store-bought fillings they have in the can too. If you don't feel like going through all that mess of making homemade filling, you could always go and buy those cans of blueberry filling and apple filling and apricot, or if you want, you could put chocolate, some chocolate in here. Ooh, that sounds good. Put some chocolate in there, like, you know, a chocolate bar, something like that. Whatever your heart fancies. Or you can even take some cheesecake and put it in that as well. And guys, you could also optional put some cinnamon in the dough itself when you're mixing it, just a little bit, and a little bit of nutmeg in the dough. Okay, so guys, right now I'm just putting my pies in my oil. I'm only doing 2 at a time in this pot, my loves, because I don't want to overcrowd the pot and bring down the temperature. And guys, I want you to gently, especially for all you new cooks out there, the way I did to put the pies in the oil, I don't do it like that. You know, I do it like that because I'm used to it. But if you're someone that's, the proper way to do it is to put it on a spoon, put the pie dough on the spoon and lower it into the oil, because I don't want you to burn yourself, and I do not want you to come for me, come after me and say, you, Miss Jackie, this is what you caused me to do, I burnt myself. No, I don't want you to burn yourself. So you'll see within a few minutes to properly take the pie, put it on the spoon, and gently lower it into the oil. Okay, so you only want to fry these until they're nice and golden brown. Okay, and then you're going to lay them on a nice paper towel so it could release any of the excess oil. But these are not oily though, they're really not. All right. See what I did? I took the pie, I put it on a spoon, I gently laid it into the oil. Don't do it, just put your hands by. People that do that, people that been cooking for a minute, so they're used to being burned, even though that's not the appropriate way, but I just want to throw that out there, okay? All right, and guys, what I want you to do is when you throw those pies in there, I want you to move the pie around. I don't like when I see that, when you have like a brown spot on the bottom of a pie, and that's because even when you're making stuff like fried chicken, if you got to move it around because you don't want it to stay in one spot and one part gets darker than the other. All right, so move that pie around, and we want to cook it until it gets nice and golden brown, and we're going to put it on our paper towel. And guys, apart from the glaze that we're gonna dip these into, I also am going to show you how to just do a simple cinnamon sugar, okay, which we're doing right now. Just take some sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, mix it, and while the pies are nice and warm, guys, just be careful. You're going to take them and you're going to toss them in that cinnamon sugar, okay, so they could get nice and cold. So you could do it like this too, but I don't like it like this, but this is an option, okay? I like it when you dip it into that glaze, and then after that, the glaze gets nice and stiffed around it, nice and set around it. Beautiful thing, love it. Okay, and then you're gonna let that put down on a plate and let it dry, which won't take long for the glaze to set. This is what I like, but some people prefer the cinnamon sugar, so there's other options too, or you can even dust it with some powdered sugar, whatever your heart fancies. All right, so I'm doing this in speed motion. This is the other pie dough that I put to the side, and also the ones that you have as scraps, guys, just gently gather it together and roll it out, okay? All right, so I'm doing this in speed mode so you can see the process. And what I was saying, oh God, it just came to mind, like if you have some cheesecake, you could take a scoop of cheesecake and put it in the center and add a piece of chocolate and wrap it around these. Yummy. Yummy, yum, yum. You could chop up some bananas and, oh God, you could probably do a peanut butter and banana one. If for all you guys who love peanut butter, I'm a peanut butter fanatic and I love bananas. You could take some bananas, chop them up, take a little spoon of peanut butter and seal these up and fry them, okay? The sky's the limit, and this is what cooking's about. It's about being creative, creating your own, okay? My job when I do this is to show you so many things that you could do from scratch. Not to say there's anything doing things semi-made, okay? But sometimes you don't need to go to the store and spend more money to buy pie crust when you have the ingredients in your house and you could do it. That's why I always tell y'all, get that flour, save your money, get some flour, honey, and you'll be set, okay? You could do wonders with flour, all right? So now we added the pie into our nice hot oil. Just like that. You see how I did to put the pie on the spoon and you gently lay it in there. Okay, move that pie around. And usually you'll be able to tell too because the pie will start floating. Okay, you could drizzle these with you could put some nice, you could, if you want to, you could drizzle these in some chocolate, or you could just have them just like that if you don't want nothing. You don't have to put anything on them. You don't have to put them any cinnamon sugar on them. You don't have to. But for those of y'all who have a sweet tooth, let yourself go, baby. Just let yourself go. All right. Doing this in speed mode here. See how easy this is, guys? It's so easy. And these are great treats for kids. You know, you could make these and have them, and you could even be in the kitchen doing these with your kids. And there you go. Our beautiful fried pies. Look at that, baby. Look at that. The kids will love this, okay? They will love this. I think this is a lot of people's favorites, especially for Southerners. This is a lot of them. I don't think you have to be a Southerner, but to have a fried pie, you know, but this is it, my loves. I think anybody who's a little kid who loves pie is going to love this, okay? Look at that. Let me break that open for you, my love, so you can see the inside of that beautiful pie. Doesn't that look cute? Yes. Yes, look at that. Nice and flaky. Beautiful crust. Just the right thickness. I cannot stand thick crust. That's like a sandwich you give me if you make it like a thick crust. But, baby, this is what it is. Guys, I want you to try this recipe. Give it a try. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. And my loves, there's more recipes to come in the description box. Well, no, not the description box. Below, you'll see all the other recipes I have. Check them out, my loves. And I'm going to let you know that you must do 3 things for me, and that is eat, love, and pray. Until next time, my loves.